Revolution's in the air cause of the thirst to spare. What's up with Pierre's hair? Citizens can't bear anymore. They show up on the shore of the castle's door asking for freedom or death, while the higher ups snorting meth, scoring from this meth. But the best part is they don't know what's coming next. Could the French Revolution have been avoided if the First and Second Estate had been willing to negotiate and help to lighten the tax burden of the Third Estate? During 1793, Robespierre and the Jacobins began what is known as the Reign of Terror. They beheaded anyone who was even suspected of opposing the revolution. This resulted in mass bloodshed and paranoia.
I felt a sharp pain in my stomach, as if I too had been disemboweled. I wondered whether the princess had still been alive and she had been mutilated. I could not avert my eyes from her body. I had not noticed at first anything but the poor remains, but my attention was drawn to cries nearby. Some 10 yards away, corpses and body parts were piled high in the middle of the street. A man's head had rolled down in a heap into the gutter. It bore a large gash on the side. The force of the blow must have torn the eye from its socket, and it hung by a shred of flesh. The street was slick with blood and reeked of death. For the corpses had begun to smell in the hot afternoon. All the cadavers were naked.
I know it's not a pretty sight, especially for a lady with them being naked at home. We should be receiving straw anytime to cover the bodies. You can't leave them like this. They don't look decent. Now that you have been acquitted, climb to the top of the pile and cry, "Long live the nation." We will help you if you are tired. After that, you'll be free to go.
A man I had seen in the courtyard was being dragged to undergo that formality. He had lost his shoes in the struggle, and his white silk stockings were stained by the blood of the corpses he was treading. He was offering a vigorous resistance. They pulled him to the top of the heap of bodies and ordered him to cry, "Long live the nation," but he refused with the utmost contempt. I tried to shout to him not to be so foolish, but no sound came out of my mouth. One of the executioners plunged his saber into the man's stomach. He collapsed. The executioner drew a cutlass from his belt and began to cut off the victim's head. He had only fainted. The pain revived him and he began to shriek. Still held by my attendants, I turned my head away. The cry stopped. The executioner climbed down and took me by the chin to make me behold the trophy he was holding.
Don't be shy, beauty. Look what happens to the enemies of the state.
In 1794, Robespierre was beheaded by his beloved guillotine. Nearly 40,000 people were executed during the Reign of Terror.